Hi guys, Teresa here of Larkin Design, and welcome back to my 2016 December album. This is my December daily, and I am, well, Merry Christmas, because Christmas has already come and gone, and so I am here on the 20th. I've finished up to the 19th so far, and this was where we were before the holidays, and then everything just sort of went Christmas focused. And so I'm back today. I want to try to get the 20th, the 21st, and the 22nd done today. And then I will finish up the rest of it in another couple of days. Hopefully by the end of this week. I need to finish this project by the end of the week, just because I have other projects that I need to get back into and get finished up for the year. And I also need to clean up my desk and get all the Christmas things put back away and say goodnight for the new year. So this is sort of what my foundation page was looking like for this day, for the 20th. And I will tell you that the 20th and the 21st and the 22nd, like, we were still doing a lot of Christmas shopping. So those are pretty much my stories for these days. I have this little selfie photo that my husband and I took while we were out and about that day, and so that's a good one to put there. And then I was just sort of not feeling this one. Now I have to admit that since it's after the fact, I'm sort of looking at both pages at the same time, and I've done that with some of the ones in the past too. I've talked about how for the purposes of this album, it has been nice to do 2 days at once so that I could get a feel for the overall layout itself, not just not just each side of the layout by itself. So what I have for my story for the 21st is kind of just a little bit talking about some of the family that I miss, and my kids, Nick and Natalie, went back to their dad's for a couple of days, and so it was sort of more quiet and low-key for that day. And so when I looked at my photos that I had, I'm not really sure if I'm loving this and this. I don't know, really. I have no idea how any of this is going to turn out, because I don't really have a vision in my head yet. And I really, like, at this point, I'm about done. I'll be honest. And so my goal is not to overthink things. My goal is not perfection. My goal is simply photos, journaling, and call it done. And this is the advantage of putting so much work into it in advance, because, you know, I literally can say, you know, maybe these aren't my favorite in this place in the album, but I can leave them there, and I may end up doing that too. I do love these colors. I love this sort of light coral color, but I'm not sure how it blends with this. I don't know why. This is actually our dining room table, but it's not that reddish. And for some reason when I printed it out, it just came out reddish like that, and that's okay. And it doesn't look bad with that. I'm just not really sure how I feel about it. I don't know. So we'll see what's going to happen here. I have the 19 from the day before that I need to deal with those today. And then I have my numbers for these 3 days. I went ahead and brought those over here so that I would know if I wanted to change my mind on any of those. So I think I'm going to just dive right in here, and I'm actually looking at this card right here, and I think I might put that there. And I was looking too at, this is the one I had chosen for the foundation pages, and I don't know if I'm really a fan of that one. I don't know. But that one is kind of cute, and so I'll probably have some kind of way to embellish that. And then I want to do a transparency card on the back of these numbers. So I have this one. Let's see what I have. What else is on the back of this one? This was a gold layout. This one is a gold layout. Everything is gold. So I could use that one. That's not transparency. I still have that one. I wonder how that... Some of my not transparent things. That's a lot of weight. Some of these are from the Maggie Holmes Gather collection. And so the cut apart sheet from that collection, they were all 3x3s. But I pulled them anyway because you can always put them on another 3x4 transparency and layer them. That's always an option to do. Okay, so here's where I decided that I should probably switch to voiceover so that I can create in or share the video with you in sped up mode instead of in real time. So I'm just gonna share with you my process and talk you through it, and in a minute it will speed up just a little bit. And so you can see here that I'm just playing around with what I want to do with the number pockets. And I have this 3x4 or 3x3 transparency from Maggie Holmes that I'm sort of playing around with. You totally could just slide that in the pocket, attach the 20 and slide that in the pocket in the 3x4 shape. That would be cool. But I wasn't really liking that the words were getting lost against the 19. So I'm just going through some more of my options here. And then in the end, I decided to use the gift transparencies. These are from Pink Fresh Studio Oh Joy collection. They were a cut apart sheet. And I also decided that I wanted to use this 4x6 one in the top pocket. It has a real cute saying on it. So even though I don't think we really did any of the things that were on the saying, that's okay. So here we go. Now the video will speed up for you. And I'm going to just back that with a plain white cardstock. And now we'll get moving faster. So I'm going to use the silver side of that transparency as a contrast against the 20. And I'm going to trim that in half to fit my pockets. And so my stories for these couple of days, this is day 20, 21, and 22, is really about the shopping that we were doing. Normally we do our shopping throughout the month, but with Alan being gone for 2 weeks at the beginning of the month, it put us behind quite a bit. And so towards the end before Christmas, like, we were at the store every single day. And for a while it was fun. Like on the 20th, it was still fun because we were still like trying to make sure we got everybody what they wanted, and we were just having a good time hanging out together and all that. And And then on the 22nd, I'll share that with you when we get to that day. So I am going to break up a little of these gold triangles, just a little bit with these washi tapes from Amy Tangerine. And this black one, it sort of wants to tear apart when I try to pull it off. But I've used both of these several times, and I sort of realized that, the national colors of Germany are red, gold, and black. And so I kind of like carrying that through. I've used those washis a couple of times now and layered on top of the gold. They sort of look a little German there, so I like that. Definitely still feeling that vibe a little bit and allowing those colors to carry through the album. My journaling card here is from the Ali Edwards main kit. I'm going to draw messy lines here in the style of Ali Edwards, and then I'm going to just fill in my journaling. I decided to use a gold pen here. This one didn't really show up well enough, but I had this Sharpie paint marker. So I used it. I don't know if it really worked or not. I don't know. The gold on the black. It probably should have been black on gold lines, but it doesn't matter, right? In the end, it's good enough. And so let me share with you what I wrote. I wrote, we are in full-on get-it-done mode here, checking all the lists and making sure every base is covered. We have been in the store every day since Alan got back. Oh, it's so much fun. And then the quote on the transparency says, I thought maybe we could make gingerbread houses and eat cookie dough and go ice skating and maybe even hold hands. And I'm pretty positive that we did hold hands a lot. Okay, and so for day 21, my story here is just sort of a little melancholy journaling about one of the things that is hard for me, and I talked about this a little bit more last year, but one of the things that's hard for me is that the holidays are sort of melancholy because my parents and my grandparents are all deceased, and so we don't really have big family get-togethers. It's just me and Alan and the kids most years, and which of course I love and I'm so thankful for, but I do miss my parents. And every year, it's hard every year to make these albums, and like there's no pictures of my parents in there. It's something that I feel very aware of and self-conscious about, actually. Like there's something maybe not normal about me. But anyway, but I always try to journal a little bit about that every year. And so here's what I wrote about it this year. I said, the days are quiet here as we finished up the school year and made final preparations for the big day. Nick and Natalie are at their dad's until Friday, and Addison and Emberlyn are just hanging out while Alan and I work. It has been a hectic week, trying to do the remaining last bits of shopping, but it makes me so happy to know this will be a really awesome Christmas. Even with all the things going on, there is still so much love and laughter that fills the air. Lots of really good food and way too many cookies, thanks to the baking sprees we had earlier. We have such a good life and so much to be thankful for, and yet still it is Advent, and still we wait for the small miracle. I am surrounded by children and husband and friends, but still my heart is sometimes heavy for Christmases past with Mom and Dad and Grandma. The days are quiet without their voices, but I like to think the laughter carries their legacy and love throughout the season. Come, Emmanuel, come. And this is, journaling like this is actually something that I have repeated several years in a row. This feeling of Advent and this feeling of waiting for the completion. And I do feel that way, having lost my parents at 19 and 33. It does sort of feel like there's an expectation in the air that never is quite filled. There's a void that cannot be solved. I can only try to remember the good things and be happy with what is around me, and but there's still something missing. So I have to address that, and I hope that my journaling and I hope my thoughts about that are still hopeful and positive. That's really the best way I know to cope. So I'm going to move along now to day 22, and every year we get the Target mailer, right? And I always hold on to that. It comes in November or something, or October, I don't know. But I always hang on to it because their layouts are really cute. And I did this year, and I was really glad I did, because by the 22nd, I have to tell you that we went to Target. And I swear, I told my husband, you better record this because I don't want to come back to Target for the rest of the year. This is it. This is our last trip. I am not coming back to this store the rest of this year. And so that's really what this day is about. And I just decided to cut up the ornament photos from that mailer, from the Target mailer. So these are not my photos. This is the Target mailer itself, and that I'm just cutting up and sort of using as a backdrop. And I already have in mind what I'm going to do for the journaling on this is I want to use those red and white alphabets from Freckled Fawn. Gosh, I love those little puffy alphabets. And so I'm going to use those, and I'm going to just do a big title, and that's going to be my journaling. Just nothing, I'm not even going to handwrite anything or whatever. Clearly, this is the point in December Daily that I am so ready to be done with it. And that's okay. There's been a lot of journaling already in this album, and so just sort of see the whole album as lots of photos, lots of stories from the month. And this is definitely one of those stories too, because I don't know that I've ever been tired of Target before in my life, but I definitely felt it on that day. So that's a great story to remember, as much as I love Target, right? So I'm going to lay out my title here. And I had to really think carefully about what I wanted to say because I'm running out of T's. And I ended up cutting off one of the J's to make it smaller. And it really kind of has a cute little elfish look to it. The I being shorter helps tie it together and make it not look out of place. So, that's kind of how I did that. And then, so that part of the journaling says, for the last time. And then you'll see here in a minute what I'm going to do on the top part of the layout. I was playing around with leaving the 22 there, in the silver numbers. But it just didn't pop against that white background. So that's when I was like, just sort of looking around my desk and figuring out what else I had. And this little Blank Days Till Christmas, it came from Celine Studio, and it was something that I just printed out. And so I'm going to stamp 3 Days Till Christmas using a Carrie Bradford alphabet stamp set. and attach that in the center of this magazine photo. And then I have those red and white alphabets. Those are from last year's Allie Edwards main kit, I think. Either that or they were the one little, it looks like they're the one little bird mini kit alphabets. And so my words here are going to be yes, Target. Just to say that yes, we actually did venture to Target 3 days before Christmas. And it was the last time. And so that's pretty much my layout and pretty much what I have done. I am adding this little gold star from Freckled Fawn as well to the little wood journaling card. I didn't get a chance to tell you about that wood 3x4 card. I have to be honest and say that that is from my stash. And I've had it for, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 years. And if I were to guess, I think that it's probably Allison Creft for Webster's Pages. Or it might be Basic Gray. I really and truthfully don't remember where it came from. And my apologies for that. I think that it's very important to use what we have in our stash. So don't hate me too much for not knowing where that came from. And you'll see me here. I set the star aside, and then I'll remember in a minute to actually adhere that down. So I'm going to just end right here for today, and then I'll be back in another couple of days to finish up this album and get cracking on the new year. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Thanks for following along in my December album, and I will see you back here soon. All right, thanks again. Bye-bye.